We're going to have some closing remarks from Brenda Destro, and I will introduce her as she walks up. So she is an incredibly busy woman these days, wearing multiple hats. So she's the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Planning and Evaluation. She's currently also fulfilling the responsibilities of the Assistant Secretary and the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for Planning and Evaluation. So she's going to speak with all three roles of those. Yeah. So prior to coming to ASPE, she served as a policy advisor to the Assistant Secretary for Health at HHS. She was also a public health advisor in both the U.S. House and the Senate. So thanks for joining us, Brenda.
Well, I'm going to provide some closing remarks for today, which has been a wonderful exercise in learning new ideas from panelists who are have done such outstanding research and giving us new ideas. The forum brought together, as I said, rigorous data analysis and research findings that can really move policy in meaningful ways to increase opportunity and independence for American families. So we learned that we learned some new ideas for increasing work, which is, of course, the cornerstone to gaining and maintaining independence, as well as how to think about employer needs, worker skills, and training opportunities together so that both our economy and our families can thrive. We heard about something that I'm quite interested in, social capital and networks, and the importance of strong social relationships in the lives of individuals and families. And we gained valuable insight into how we can help increase economic stability and mobility across generations. So thank you for conducting and to our panelists, thank you for conducting and sharing such valuable research with us today. And of course, to our final panel on the policy ideas and directions and helping us to skillfully weave together all the rich findings shared today. But for me, as a social worker, I think one of the most interesting areas that I found today was to have the opportunity to learn how to build services and strategies around what individuals and families really need to move to self-sufficiency and to provide for themselves rather than starting with government programs. And that really brings us to the opening remarks that Steve Wagner made on engagement, and my other colleague, I think Clarence Carter, kind of flushed out for us. So engagement with families, and then building the social networks and the social capital that our social system then can hand off some of these very fragile families to another network that will help continue and support the growth and change that they're going through. We at ASPE are very excited to start incorporating these findings and ideas and new possibilities into our work, both with the National Poverty Research Center as well as more broadly within HHS. So a big thank you to our co-sponsors, the Institute for Research on Poverty at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, the Center for Poverty Research at the University of California at Davis, and the National Association for Welfare Research and Statistics. And most of all, I want to offer my gratitude for all of you, our participants, both here in the room and joining via live stream, especially our state and regional partners who took time out of their very busy schedules to join us and help us better understand how collectively we can further advance the research, practice, and policy agenda to rethink our welfare system, creating greater opportunity for independence among all families. So thank you very much, and we look forward to working with you going forward.
So I really don't have much to add, except that, Robert mentioned on the last panel that, one of the best outcomes from events like this is to stimulate thinking. So I hope that this both collectively and individually gets us thinking, and that thinking goes on as we leave the room and go back to our regular life roles. I also want to thank our partners in organizing, UC Davis and NAWRS, and ASPE for their funding, support, and partnership. And thank you all for a great day of discussion.